Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your spelling lesson for today. Today we're going to have a look at ER spellings, IER spellings. So these are all words that you use when you're comparing something with something else. So for example, you have big, bigger, biggest. So we're going to focus on the middle one, the ER ending, right? So this is week 8 of our spellings. So our first word is heavier, right? So again, this is the middle one, so that you have heavy, heavier, and heaviest. So the ER ones we're focusing on today. So heavier, our sentence is, the elephant was heavier than the mouse. So here we have an elephant and a mouse. Well, actually in this picture, it's showing that the mouse is heavier than the elephant, which we know is not true. But we're comparing the elephant to the mouse. We're saying that the elephant is heavier than the mouse. Hungrier, and our word is, the boy felt hungrier after the match than before the match. So the football match. He was hungrier after the match than before the match. So you're comparing how he felt before the match to how he felt after the match. Our third word is lazier. The insect was lazy, but the man was lazier. So we show a picture of an insect here. Looks like a grasshopper, who's lazy, but the man is lazier than the insect. We're comparing the insect to the man. Next word is luckier. My teacher told me the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I suppose the meaning behind that is that the harder you work, the better things happen to you in general. If you work hard for something, some good things will happen to you. The harder you work, the luckier you get. Or you could say something like, the man who won the competition was luckier than the man who lost the competition or who did not win the competition. So you're comparing things. Noisier. The children got noisier and noisier during lunchtime. Or the children got noisier when the teacher was not in the classroom. Or the music got noisier when I turned the volume up. Prettier. A flower is pretty, but a bunch of flowers is prettier. So one flower is pretty, but a bunch or a bouquet of flowers is prettier. Nastier. The supervillain was nastier than everybody else. So if somebody is nasty, it means that they're mean or they're bad. So the supervillain was nastier than everybody else. He was meaner than everybody else. Our mathematics word for this week is shape. There are many different shapes, including circle, square, and rectangle. We have loads of shapes here. Here's a circle, that's a type of shape. Here's a square, another type of shape. Here's a triangle. Here's an oval. Here's an octagon. Loads of different shapes. They're all called shapes. Disaster. Earthquakes are a type of natural disaster. So a disaster in general means something terrible, something very bad. So it could be it was a disaster when we could not find our food. I thought it was a disaster. It just means something that's really, really bad, something that you think is really bad. A natural disaster is a disaster, something bad that's caused by nature or the environment. So you have things like earthquakes, volcanoes, volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, things like that. They're natural disasters. But in general, a disaster, something bad, means something bad. Share. It is nice to share toys with each other. And here we have a boy sharing his toy train with a girl. So to share. I'm sure we all know what that means. Okay, so there are spellings for this week, guys. Of course, do your right cover, cover, say right. Sheet, do that first, the normal sheet that we do all the time. And then your story. Right, so again, same as always, your story. Use 5 of the spellings. Some people are not using 5. They're only using 2 or 3. Try to get 5 of our spellings this week into your story. Bit of advice, just use simple sentences, short sentences. Some people have a tendency of just overusing the word and. So try not to overuse that. So don't say, I went to the shop and I bought clothes and I went for an ice cream and. Try not to do that. Short sentences, capital letters and full stops, and try to use 5 spellings. So let's read out our sample story, our example story. Mohammed loved to share his toys with his baby brother Ahmed. Full stop. He was heavier than his brother, but Ahmed was noisier. Full stop. See the way I'm using short sentences. Mohammed was so happy to have such a loving family. Full stop. I could not be any luckier, he thought. Full stop. I've used very short sentences there, but I've still managed to get in the 5 spellings. And of course, I have my capital letters and my full stops. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a very a really long story. It can be just short and simple. Just make sure you have your 5 spellings, short sentences, capital letters, and full stops. Okay, have a great week, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.